If your feet feel cold, your legs feel heavy, and you wake up at night with that strange tingling in your toes, I need you to stop what you're doing right now. Because what most people think is just getting older is actually a warning sign your body is sending, and almost nobody is paying attention to it in time. I'm Dr. David. I'm a cardiologist, and every single week I sit across from patients, real people, not statistics, who come to me after years of being told that's just age. And by the time they sit in my office, the damage to their circulation has already been quietly building for years. Today, I'm going to tell you what I wish every doctor had the courage to say out loud. And I'm going to ask you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because what I'm going to reveal in the final minutes is something that the vast majority of people are never told by their physicians, not because it's secret, but because we simply don't take the time. And that ends today.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stood up and felt that rush of dizziness hit you before your eyes even had a chance to focus? Or walked up a single flight of stairs and felt your heart knocking against your chest like it was trying to get out? Or noticed that your ankles were puffy by the end of the day, just a little, but you dismissed it? These are not small things. These are your cardiovascular system raising its hand, trying to get your attention. And we've been taught all of our lives to sit down and wait for it to pass. Here's the truth. Poor circulation doesn't start with a heart attack. It starts with silence. It starts with little signals that come one by one. Coldness in the extremities, slower wound healing on your feet, skin that looks pale or slightly bluish around the toes, that persistent, dull ache in the calves after sitting for too long. Medically, what's happening is this. Your blood vessels, particularly the smaller ones, the capillaries and arterioles, are losing their elasticity. The inner lining of those vessels, called the endothelium, becomes inflamed and starts losing its ability to dilate properly. Blood flows, but it flows slower, narrower, with more resistance. And the tissues that depend on that blood, your muscles, your skin, your nerves, your heart, they start to run low. Not all at once, slowly, quietly. The way a fire doesn't go out in one moment. It just dims.
Now, most people, when they hear circulation problems, they think walk more. And yes, walking is good. I am never going to tell a patient not to walk. But here's what very few people realize, and this is the part I want you to hear clearly. Walking alone, while beneficial for cardiovascular fitness, does not directly and efficiently address the inflammation and stiffness inside the vessel walls themselves. It's like trying to clean a clogged pipe by running water through it. The water moves, yes, but the buildup on the walls, that stays. So what actually improves circulation more than walking, especially for adults over 60? The answer is not a pill. It's not a surgery. It's a specific, evidence-supported combination of targeted movement, thermal therapy, and anti-inflammatory nutritional strategy. And the most powerful single component of that combination, the one thing that consistently outperforms walking alone in improving endothelial function, is deliberate heat exposure combined with controlled breathing. I know that sounds almost too simple. Stay with me. Research published in journals like the Journal of the American Heart Association and studies from the University of Eastern Finland have documented repeatedly that regular sauna-style heat exposure causes direct, measurable improvement in blood vessel dilation. The mechanism is not complicated. Heat causes your blood vessels to expand. Your heart rate increases moderately. Your blood viscosity decreases. And your body responds by releasing a molecule called nitric oxide, the same molecule that your blood pressure medication is often trying to trigger artificially. Nitric oxide is essentially your body's natural vasodilator. It tells the vessels to relax, to open, to let blood flow. And heat, consistent, deliberate, regular heat, is one of the most powerful natural triggers for nitric oxide production that we know of. This is not alternative medicine. This is published physiology. Now, I want to pause here for a moment. If you're finding this information useful, if you feel like this is the kind of thing no one sat down and explained to you before, I want to ask you to do one simple thing. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and drop a comment below telling me your age and where you're from. I ask that every single time, not out of habit, but because it genuinely helps me understand who I'm talking to, so I can create content that serves you better. Are you 65 and dealing with leg heaviness? Are you 72 and worried about your blood pressure? Tell me. This channel exists because of you.
Now let me go deeper, because understanding heat alone isn't enough. The reason this works better than walking, particularly for older adults, is because as we age, the natural production of nitric oxide declines. Studies have documented this clearly. You produce less of it. Your vessels become stiffer. The endothelial lining becomes more reactive to inflammation. Walking helps cardiac output, but it does not directly stimulate nitric oxide synthesis the way sustained thermal exposure does. This is why populations in countries like Finland and Japan, where regular heat bathing is a culture, have consistently demonstrated lower rates of cardiovascular mortality. This is correlation, not absolute proof of causation, and I want to be intellectually honest with you about that. But the biological mechanism is real and well documented. Here's how to apply this practically. If you have access to a sauna, traditional or infrared, 3 to 4 sessions per week at temperatures between 160 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes per session is the protocol most frequently cited in the research as beneficial. But I know not everyone has access to a sauna, so here is the practical alternative: warm therapeutic baths. Fill your tub with water as warm as you can comfortably tolerate, not scalding, but genuinely warm. Submerge your lower body for 15 to 20 minutes. Do this consistently 4 to 5 times per week. Add Epsom salts if you'd like. Magnesium is absorbed transdermally and plays a role in vascular relaxation. The key is consistency. 1 bath does almost nothing. 40 baths over 2 months can change how your legs feel, how your feet warm up, how your energy moves through your body.
Now here is the open loop I promised you earlier. The thing I said I'd reveal. There's a layer to this that goes beyond the physical practice. And I'm going to get to it, but first I have to tell you about the enemies inside your vessels that no amount of walking or bathing alone can address. Keep watching. Chronic low-grade inflammation. This is the silent force behind arterial stiffness, behind plaque accumulation, behind the reason your vessels don't dilate as freely as they once did. Inflammation in the vascular system is driven by multiple factors: excess blood sugar, oxidative stress, sedentary behavior, poor sleep, and nutritional deficiency. Specifically, deficiency in compounds that support nitric oxide synthesis and antioxidant protection of the endothelia lining. We're talking about things like L-arginine, L-citrulline, coenzyme Q10, omega-3 fatty acids, and natural polyphenols, like those found in dark berries, beets, and dark leafy greens. Beets specifically deserve mention here. They are one of the most concentrated dietary sources of nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide. This is not a trend. The research on dietary nitrates and vascular health is robust and repeatable.
Now, and I want to be clear that I'm not here to sell you anything, but out of responsibility to you as a physician and as someone who wants you to leave this video better than you arrived, I feel obligated to mention this. In the first link in the description, I've left information about a method that many people are already using and recommending specifically for cardiovascular support. The reason I mention it is this: getting adequate amounts of these vascular supportive compounds from diet alone, L-citrulline, CoQ10, concentrated nitrate-rich extracts, is genuinely difficult, particularly for adults over 60 whose absorption is naturally reduced. A properly formulated cardiovascular support supplement, one that is concentrated and designed specifically for this purpose, can work synergistically with the lifestyle practices I've described. It can support the cleaning and flexibility of your vessels more efficiently than food alone in many cases. If you want to explore that, it's there. If you don't, everything I've told you today still applies and still works. The choice is always yours. Let me now give you your action plan, practical, real, and doable starting tomorrow. First, begin thermal therapy 3 times this week. Warm bath, 15 to 20 minutes, lower body submerged. Make it a ritual. Second, eat 1 beet or drink 4 ounces of pure beet juice every morning for 30 days and pay attention to how your legs feel after 2 weeks. Third, eliminate the 2 biggest inflammatory triggers in the daily diet of most older adults: refined sugar and refined vegetable oils. Replace them with olive oil, walnuts, and fatty fish. Fourth, walk. Yes, walk, but do it after your thermal session, not instead of it. The combination is what amplifies the effect. When your vessels are already dilated from heat, movement sends blood through them more efficiently. That is synergy.
Before I close, I want to remind you, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We are building a community of people who are refusing to accept decline as destiny. Hit the bell. Share this video with someone you love who struggles with cold hands, swollen ankles, or that frustrating heaviness in the legs. You might be giving them something their own doctor hasn't taken the time to explain. And here is what I want you to take away from everything I've said today. Poor circulation is not a sentence, it is a signal, and signals can be answered. Your vessels are not made of stone, they are living, responsive tissue. They respond to heat, they respond to nutrition, they respond to movement, and most importantly, they respond to consistency. Not perfection, consistency. Here is your challenge. Commit to the thermal therapy protocol for 30 days. Just 30 days. Keep a simple journal. Note how warm your feet feel in the morning. Note how your legs feel at the end of the day. Note whether that ankle swelling has changed. Then come back here and leave a comment. Tell me what you noticed. Because that's not just data for me, it's proof for you that your body is still capable of change. How old are you? Where are you watching from? I genuinely want to know. Drop it in the comments right now. I read them, I respond when I can. And your story might be exactly the encouragement that another person sitting somewhere right now, wondering if it's too late for them, needs to hear. It is not too late. I've seen it too many times to believe anything else. The body heals when you give it what it needs. And now you know what to give it. Take care of your heart. It's been taking care of you your entire life.